Hello, bonjour. I just need to get this silenced and I will be right with you. There we go. Okay. Hello, bonjour. My name is Denise Willerton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in East St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada. I'm thrilled that you're here. Please say hello. Let me know that you're here. And don't forget to share. Hello, Sherry. And you're playing along. I'm so excited. That's awesome. I just, at the last minute, I decided I should throw that out. And so thank you. I'm excited. And I'd love to see a picture of your card once we're done. Let me change. I forget how to do this. It's been so long. Do you know it has been... No, that's not what I want. See, there you go. It's been a month because we were away on vacation and then came home, hit the ground running, and just was not able to. So here are some of the names. I think I might be just a tad close. Let's see if I can bring this up. Sorry about that. There we go. That might be better. Okay, so I had one person share already. And so while we were gone, hello, Darlene, I received just a few cards in the mail. Can I take the time to quickly go through this? They are so lovely. Carol, hello, and you shared. Thank you, darling. So I am just sharing a few cards that I got in the mail while we were away. And this was from my friend Linda. She is often here. I hope she catches me today. I love this stamping off technique. I haven't done that in a while. And I love it when I get these cards because then it's like, oh yeah, I need to do that. Sherry, thank you so much for sharing. Here is another one from Linda using that painted textures embossing folder. My pile is very high. I don't own this stamp set, but this guy is so sweet. I just love him. Yeah, Dar, it's been a while. I forget how to do this. And here, this, I believe, is from the same stamp set. There we go. And this is also from my friend Linda. And then the beautiful Trucking Along stamp set. Look how pretty that is. I love this. So just clear embossing powder, basically tone on tone. See how neat that is? My pile is so high, it's hard to get the whole card in. And this is actually back in stock again, okay? Darlene, thank you for sharing. Here is, sorry for the scribble there. Here is another Trucking Along card. Just love it. And so see the little white pencil line? I bought, and I believe I got them at Michael's. I'm pretty sure this is what Linda used. It's just a jelly roll, and they're great. I've had all kinds of white markers and things like that, and jelly roll is the best one. It just is. And another Trucking Along. So this is just a larger, like a longer card. Look how pretty the envelope is. Whoops, there you go. Look at that. So fun. Whoops, sorry there, Linda. Got your address showing to everybody. This is, was this from Linda too? No, this is from my sweet friend Terry in the States. And we got back, and I haven't read this yet. I love this fold. Do you see that? And what a great way to use up your design paper. And this bird is so sweet. I don't have this stamp set either, and I'm thinking, I maybe need to do it. Here is a beautiful Halloween card from my friend Linda. Love the pumpkins. And Trucking Along again. And look how beautiful that envelope is. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And the crow again. You've got something to crow about. She's got a round piece of vellum back here, which is really neat. And then this one, This just screams farmyard to me because of the gingham and the fence, and I love it. I love it. And here we've got some white embossing powder creating a beautiful Christmas card. Isn't that gorgeous? And here I've got a shaker card, and I believe this came from a gal in the States. I went to one of her classes, and so there's a shaker card. So fun. And trucking along again in pink. Look at that, Darlene. What do you think of that? Darlene is my girlfriend, and pink is her color. And this beautiful, I love the size of this. I need to find out where she got these envelopes. So these envelopes measure 7.5 by 4. Okay, look how fun that is. I love that. Like, it just looks like you're driving down the road, and I love how she sponged the road. And yeah, looks really good. So thank you for all of my beautiful cards. All my beautiful cards. Dar, you need to make a pink truck. Do you want to see that one again? Look at this. Design paper, pink truck, pink ribbon. Gorgeous. It's a pink truck. How fun would that be? Okay. October tutorial bundle. Sorry, I'm just going to take a few minutes here. If you place a $65 order, you will receive the October tutorial bundle. This features 46 tutorials from different demonstrators from around the world. So it's really neat. And my infamous sweet card folio gift set. This class started off, get this, June 3rd. And then something happened, and that date did not work. So I moved it to September 23rd. And guess what? And this is an all-day Saturday event. I've got 2 spots left here if you're local. An all-day Saturday event. I'm I'm feeding you lunch. I can't talk. There's going to be a bingo game with door prizes and stuff. So anyway, June 3rd did not work. We moved it to September 23rd. And all of a sudden it was like, oh boy, that date doesn't work. We moved it to October 14th. That date doesn't work. Now this class is November 18th, okay? 2023. So my hope and prayer is that this class actually gets taught in the year 2023 and not 2024, because I am bound and determined we are going to do this class. It's so much fun. So much fun. Oh yeah, my Christmas bundle class is sold out. So I do not have any more room for that. It's a full house. Let's get to today's card. Now, so far I know that Sherry is playing along. Is there anyone else that is playing along? I did throw the measurements out maybe a little too late, but hopefully there's somebody else playing along. This is my card base, okay? And so according to, I just want to double check this. According to the measurements that I sent out, your card base is 9 1/4. I still feel like I am just a tad close. There we go. I just feel like I'm not getting the whole thing in. Okay, so 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, you're going to try and get the paper cut and ready. Oh, Michelle, I'll wait for you. I'll wait a moment if it's not going to take too long. And welcome here. Where are you from? I don't believe this name is familiar to me. So I'm just going to let you know, Michelle, these names here written on this little scraps of paper are girls that are sharing this live right now. And at the end of my class, at the end of my live, I will draw a name for a prize, okay? And I'm hoping to do more than one today, okay? So card base, 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to get our scoreboards out, or your Stampin' Trimmer, whatever it is that you like to do. Now, when you're choosing your card base, what I want you to do is first find the design paper that you want to use, okay? And then you determine what color you are having for a card base. So for this particular one, woof, I am using Early Espresso. I also have Lost Lagoon, Night of Navy, and Misty Moonlight. I'm hoping to do more than one, okay? So you're based in Winnipeg. Oh, how do you share? How do you share? Girls, if someone can pop in the message, how to share on Facebook. I think there should be a little share icon. I think that's how you do it. So Michelle, and do you also have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Because if you don't, I would love to help you with your creativity needs. If you do have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, that is awesome. But if you don't, I'd love to help you, okay? So you're going to grab your card base. And again, that is going to match whatever design paper you're choosing, okay? So this is the design paper that I'm choosing. And I've got some Early Espresso in there. So I am going to use Early Espresso for my card base. We are going to score at 1.5. So I'm going to go 1.5 right here. Make sure that you grab your score blade and not your cut blade. Thanks, girls, for helping Michelle out. So we're going 1.5. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this to 2 3/4. Okay. So 1.5 and then 2 3/4. Marika, hello. I'm glad you're here. We're going to take that out. So 1.5, 2 3/4. We're going to take that out. We're going to spin it right around and we're going to do that again. Okay. So 1.5. And then 2 3/4. Then we're going to grab our bone folder. Okay. And I'm going to need that again. So I'm just going to leave that on my desk. Let's give these a good burnish. So I burnish. It doesn't really matter which way you burnish because this card is going to get folded kind of wonky. So we're going to have, I'm going to show you here in a minute. How are you doing there, Sherry? Because I know you're playing along. And so now I'm going to burnish that again, okay? So this is what you have, okay? That's your burnishing. Let me take this and get that out of the way. I keep hitting my cord and I don't want, there we go, okay? So there's my 1.5. There's my 2 3/4, okay? There's our card base. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our design paper and we are going to cut our design paper. I want it 5 1/4 inches tall. So what I would do is I would determine, because it's 6 by 6, I'm going to determine what I want to cut off. Do I want to cut off some of the bottom to give me the 5 1/4, or do I want to cut off some of the top? And I am going to do the same thing that I did with my first card. I'm going to cut it from the top, okay? So first, that's what you want to do, is determine how am I going to achieve 5 1/4. So here's my 5 1/4 mark. I am going to, and you know what? I pre-cut this already, so it's already 5 1/4, okay? Normally it's 6 by 6, okay? So I've got 5 1/4 by 6, okay? Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut 1 1/4 inches on the left side. Then we're going to cut 1 1/4 inches on the right side, okay? So 1 1/4, like so. Marika, I'll get your share down right away. I'm going to set this aside, okay? Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it around again, and I'm going to cut 1 1/4 again. You're going to see how fast and easy this card comes together. Okay, so this is what I have left. I've got 5 1/4 inches tall, and I've got 3 1/2 inches wide. Here's my second little piece. I am just going to set that aside. Okay, Marika, thank you for sharing. Getting my names all scattered here. Michelle, did you figure out how to share? And I will contact you. It's such a fun, fancy fold. Michelle, if it's okay, I'm going to contact you after just to ask you a few questions if you have someone working with you. So you can see how this is going to fit on the front of our paper. I'm going to grab, whoops, my silicone mat, which is, oh, you figured it out? Okay, Michelle, that's great. So if you shared, let me know and I will put your name down for the draw that's going to happen about 2 o'clock. So we've got adhesive back there, and we're going to, you can fold it up or you can open it right up. I am just following my score lines along both sides, like so. And I've got that down, okay? Jenny, hello, and thank you for sharing. I am going to cough here. I've got cough candies. Excuse me. Jenny B, where are you from? I need to take a cough candy. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. So here we've got this funky fold and these 2 pieces that we cut away before. Sorry. It's bad enough that I'm coughing. Osh gosh. That's wonderful. We drove through that spot once before. Sorry, girls. Why was I afraid that this was going to happen? Darlene, pray for me that I get through this. Please and thank you. And now my little eye is crying. My goodness. I don't feel sick at all, but I've got this crazy cough that is happening. Do you see how I've got a little bit of glue hanging out there? I am just going to see if I can get that gone with this wonderful glue eraser, I think is what it's called. I normally don't do that, but I guess when I coughed, I must have overglued. So Jenny, we went on a family vacation. This is years ago now. And we went down to Noah's Ark. Where was that? I think it was somewhere in Wisconsin. And then as we carried on after, we ended up going through Oshkosh. And I was just like, hey, we're going through Oshkosh. How cool is that? So look how sweet that is. We're going to take some baker's twine. And I'm going to grab, which one do I want? I think I'm going to grab this one. And I forget, excuse me. I think this one is Sahara Sand. Yeah, that's the one I want. So I am going to wrap that around twice. So I need a little more. And I'm going to show you, I want a little bit more. I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do. I want to make sure that I'm in camera here. Okay, so there's my one wrap. And then when this comes together, that's going to be my second wrap, okay? I'm going to grab my glue dots, my little mini glue dots, and I'm going to take one and I'm going to roll it up so it becomes quite small, kind of like in a little ball, okay? So that's just going to sit on my take your pick tool. I don't know if you can see what I just did. And then I'm going to do my first little knot. But you know how you need that extra finger? And I don't have an extra finger here. We're going to pull that a little bit taut. I'm going to take my glue dot and I'm going to put it down right there. So there is my extra finger, okay? So that is just holding that down for me. And then now I can continue and just make my bow. Press it down into there a bit and grab my snips and cut off the excess. So there's our bow on our sweet little card, okay? So now what I want to do is I'm going to grab some of my in color dots. So these are the 2003, 2004, or 5 in color dots. And I'm going to grab these ones here, and that is copper clay. They are so gorgeous. Let me see if I can get in camera here. I always have a hard time picking the big ones with my take your pick. Let's put a big guy right here. And where did it go? Oh, I didn't grab it. There's the medium one. Put that right beside the big guy. And then I want the little one beside my deer. I don't want to put it behind my deer. I want to put it in front. I always struggle with putting an embellishment kind of behind an animal because in my mind it looks like they've gone to the washroom, and I can't, sorry if that's too much information. I can't deal with that. Let's get a little sentiment on that. I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap and let's make this into another thank you card because I can always use another thank you card. And I'm going to also grab early espresso because I did not have that ready. Now, what I did with my original one, there it is right there. I actually used this amazing little die from All That Dies. It is such a great set, but just for speed for today, whoops, I should be in camera here. I am going to cut it. I am just going to cut that. So if I go on a diagonal this way, let's just carry on with another diagonal that way. How are you doing, Sherry? Did you get your card mostly together? And I've got too much on that side of the thank, so let's just cut that down. So there's my sentiment. And I wonder too if there's still a lot of smoke in our sky here, just because of all of the forest fires. And sometimes I think that's where some of my cough has come from. Now, this is the completed card. Let's put that little guy down right there. And you know what? I should have waited on that little embellishment. There we go. So there it is. Was that not super simple? Like, I think I put that together in like 5 minutes. Let's do another one, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fully finish them until after the live, like with the sentiment and everything, because I want to get through to all of the ones that I was hoping to do. Oh, and you know what? One more thing. Because this is early espresso, I did that one already. You're going to do your sentiment on the back, right? So we're going to just grab a piece of crumb cake, and this measures the same size as, so 3.5 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put a little bit of adhesive behind that. And I already have this down, so let's just squeak in there. And so now I have a spot for my sentiment. And I mean, you could have used Very Vanilla as well. And I tell my girls, no naked envelopes and no naked insides. So let's just do this. Let's grab, I love this stamp set. Who has that one? Now I have to, oh, that's great. You did it. So this is the Christmas Classics. I'm going to just grab that fern. Let's get that mounted. And I should use a foam mat because it's photopolymer. And I don't want to stamp on my mat. I'm going to grab Early Espresso. Ink that up. And I'm going to grab a Very Vanilla envelope. So let's just ink this up. Yep. And we're going to just do that there. Let's ink it up again and do that on the corner of the envelope. So there is my set ready to go. Okay. Now let's move on to the next card. So we're going to do the same thing. I don't want to show you yet. I've got my card base, and this one is, I said it earlier, not Lost Lagoon. This is Lost Lagoon. Okay, so here we go. Repetition. We are going to score at 1.5. So let's find our 1.5. And then we're going to score at, is the second one the same? This is exactly the same size, Michelle. So I'm doing exactly the same thing. So this card base is 9 1/4 by 5.5. Our first score mark is 1.5. Our second score mark is going to be 2 3/4. We're going to take this out. We're going to flip the whole thing around. We're going to go 1.5 by 2 3/4. So if there's anyone new here, remember, if you share, let me know, and I will enter your name for a draw at the end of the live. So now we're going to burnish our score marks. So I like to just take my 2 3/4 and I fold it in. And then this is my 1 1/2. So I'm just going to fold it up. And I'm going to fold it up. So if you needed a whole lot of Christmas cards and you want something fast and easy that kind of pops a wow, this is the fold for you, okay? So now we're going to take, oh, you know what? I should have done, no, I've got time. So here is the design paper that we're going to use. So this one is 6 by 6, okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to cut this down. And we know that we need this to be 5 1/4 inches in height. So I want to determine what I want to cut off. So if I lay this down here to cut my 5 1/4, I'm going to cut 5 1/4 along the bottom. Let me get right in camera here. Okay, so I'm at the 5 1/4 mark. So this is the height that I want. So that's what I'm going to be cutting off. Or if I flipped it around and I went to 5 1/4, lay my blade down, that's what I'm going to cut off. But I know that I want to cut off the bottom. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. So we're going to go to 5 1/4, which is right there, and we're going to cut that off. Now, the way that this image is sitting, I like it because I already know I'm going to be cutting a little bit on this side and a little bit on that side, so we're fine. But stick around. I'm going to show you with the third piece of DSP how I'm going to cut that off. Hey, Shell, how are you doing? 1 1/2 and 2 3/4 for your card base. Yes, and you're going to do that on both sides, Michelle. So you're going to go 1 1/2, 2 3/4. You're going to take your card base out. You're going to flip it right around 90 degrees. You're going to go 1 1/2, 2 3/4 again. And there's kind of that funky fold, right? Right there. That's what you're looking to achieve. Okay, so the focal point on this DSP is exactly where I want it, but I need to trim this down. So what we're going to do with our DSP, and this now measures 5 1/4 inches tall because we've already snipped a little bit off on the bottom. We are going to cut away 1 1/4 inches on the one side. We're going to set that aside. We're going to flip this whole image around and we're going to go 1 1/4 inches again. Okay. Done and done. So there's my card front. There are the 2 pieces that I cut away. I want to make sure that I keep them in the same orientation, right? I don't want to flip it this way. I cut this off of this side. I cut this off of that side. So let's tuck that away there. Let's grab our card base. And let's get some adhesive on it. Look at the back of this. I actually love this. I love our design paper. Let's get that on the center. And I cut a piece of basic white for my sentiment portion. And I've done that already. So here's the one piece that we cut away. I'm going to place it right here. You could put design paper there as well. I want to make sure when you're doing this, if your design paper is directional, you want to make sure that you're placing it down the right way as well. Here's our other little one. So then I would take the time right now to do my twine, actually, after I put my basic white down at the back. Okay, whoops, that's a little crooked. There's my Tombow wiggle room that I love. So here is our card, okay, and I'm going to show you from here. So this is what it would look like sitting on the table, okay? So if you wanted, you could do something here, but I don't bother. So now we've got the back, right? And I want a place for my sentiment and another little, stamped element. I sure hope you didn't hear that. You know what? When I take a cough candy, inevitably that happens. So this is just a little piece. And again, this measures 5 1/4 by 3 1/2. I would stamp down here. I would stamp my envelope the same way, and then I would wrap my twine, okay? So there's card number 2. I'm going to finish that later. Isn't that adorable? I love this. Card number 3. Actually, I brought 4. Do I have time? I sure do. Let's do this one. This is Misty Moonlight, okay? So here we go. Same thing. 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. We are going to score at 1 1/2. Make sure you grab your score blade. I don't know if you've noticed, but on my score blade, I've got score written across it. And I did that one evening just before bed. And then I'm going to go to 2 3/4. And then I took clear nail polish and I just painted over the word score. And by morning, it was set and dry. And now my word never rubs off. 1 1/2. And then 2 3/4. My phone is in the way, so I can't really see what I'm doing. We're going to fold that in. We're going to burnish. We're going to fold that in and burnish. Bring this up and burnish. Bring this up and burnish. Thank you, Darlene. I'm not sure what you're saying there on your second. K-K-E-L-I. I don't know what that is. Sorry, hon. So there's our fold. Okay, there's our fold. Now let's grab our design paper. And again, this one measures 6 by 6. We need to cut it down. We want 5 1/4 inches in the height. Okay, so let's decide what we're cutting off. So if I go, let's get right in camera. If I go to 5 1/4 inches there on that side, which is the height that I need, if I put my blade down, I can see where I'm cutting. So I'm really close to that fence line. If I flip it around and I go 5 1/4 on this side, I'm cutting off the top of my trees. So then I want to kind of assess, what do I really want? And I think I would rather cut off the shadow back here than the sky, because I'm loving that. And with this sky here, I forget what color this is. That would also be a beautiful color for the card base. I think it is, where are we? Petal pink. Yeah, it might work, but anyway, I chose Misty Moonlight. I want to cut off the bottom, so I'm going to go 5 1/4, which is right there. Let's cut that off, okay? So now I've got the height that I need. I've got 5 1/4 by 6, okay? We are going to cut 1 1/4 inches on one side. Okay, I kind of thought that's what it was. and 1¼ inches on this side. So we're tucking these away. This one came from the right side. This one came from the left side. I don't want to forget that. Here's our center panel. Stick around because I've got one more that I want to show you where the image actually is not in the middle. So I'm going to show you. I haven't done it yet, but what my thoughts are on that. Okay. I think my Tombow is getting a little dry. I love Misty Moonlight. Who else loves this color? Misty Moonlight. It's just such a fun blue. It just pops those mountains right out. Well, hello there, Kathy Penner. Hi there as well. Let's put a little bit of adhesive back here. I haven't done a live in almost a month, so I'm pretty excited to see all of these familiar names and some new ones pop up. So that's down on that side. We're going to take this other piece, which was the other half of our design paper. We are going to put a basic white panel on the back. Kathy, did you see the card itself that we're doing? So there's our card. Okay, isn't that gorgeous? Flip it over. I don't like writing my sentiment on colored cardstock. So we're going to grab some basic white. Depending on the color of your cardstock can also determine the color that you put back here. So it could either be basic white, or it could be very vanilla or crumb cake. So now we're ready for our sentiment. I would stamp my image here, or if I wanted to stamp a sentiment, I would wrap my twine, and if I have time, I will finish some of the cards. Okay, card number 4. We are going to use Night of Navy. Okay, again, this measures 9¼ by 5½. Are you girls all still with me? We're going to take our Stampin' Trimmer. We are scoring at 1½. Make sure you grab your score and not your cut. And then 2 3/4. We're going to flip this around. We are going to go 1½ again. And then 2 3/4. If anybody has shared and I have not written your name down, please let me know. Because so far I have Carol, Sherry, Barb, Dar, and Marika. I hope you're all still with me. Wrong side. Fold that in. Fold that in. Bring my next score line up. I feel another coughing fit happening here. Pardon me. I apologize. I guess I could have made one card and ran away. Thank you, Darlene. Michelle, I will put your name down. I am so sorry. I get busy. Oh, and Jenny, there was a Jenny as well that shared, and Michelle. Michelle, are you still here? There we go. I just want to make sure I get your last name in there. So here is our card base. Now, look at this gorgeous piece of design paper. You already know, looking at this, that once we get it to the right height, this is what we're going to be cutting away. And I don't want to cut away this house. Pardon me. So the first thing we want to do is we want to determine our height, and we need 5 1/4. So do I want to cut away this? I'm right here. Or do I want to cut away this? And I haven't done this card yet. So yeah, I need to do that, Carol, but I can't now. So girls, I need your help. We are cutting away. We are cutting away to give us a 5 1/4 inch height. Okay. So should I cut away the top portion? Oh, Dar, smart lady. Okay. You know what? I like that too. I like that way better. So I wonder, let's start with, do I start with the top or do I start with the bottom? So you want to determine, and this is, my wheels are turning right now. I want to determine how much I want to lose on either side, right? Do I want more, like I love the shadow here. So I'm thinking if I cut about here, and then I would be cutting a little bit from the top. I think I like that. Or do I look, I don't know, oh yeah, it is coming through. Or if I cut just to the top of this tallest tree and see where that leaves me. So if I go about there, right? Cut the bottom a little from each side. I'm going with a little from each side, I think. Or do I not want to lose the bottom of this? Wow. I can't decide. I can't decide. So if I go 5 1/4, which is there, let's go 5 1/2 for now. So that's 5 1/2. And that's going to be sitting on my card. I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch from both sides. So there is, I think my math is off. I took a little more from the bottom. I like it. Okay. I know I want this house on the front, and this is going to be I need 3 1/2 inches. Okay. So if I go to 3 1/2 inches, whoops, if I go to 3 1/2 inches, which is right there, this is what I'm going to be cutting. I don't want to cut my house. Okay. I guess either way, I'm going to be cutting my house. So we're going to cut 3 1/2. So we're going to cut 3 1/2 right there. Sorry, house. Oh. So there's the front image of our card. And if I went 1 1/4, because this is now 2 1/2 inches. Now I'm really confused. 1 1/4. And 1 1/4. Okay. So there is what we've got. Wow, that hurt my brain. That definitely hurt my brain. Okay, let's put this down. So here is, again, I'm going to measure that. It is 3 1/2 inches wide. Okay, we already know that it's 5 1/4 tall. So it's 3 1/2 inches wide. Let's put that down. Like so. I've got 10 minutes. And I don't want to be upside down. And I don't want to be upside down. Okay, and these measure 1 1/4 inches wide, and then again 5 1/4 tall. And like I said, I'm not going to totally finish the cards live, but I will finish them after. Okay? Which is your favorite one? I mean, they're not totally finished, but there's this one. I love this design paper. There's this one. And this one. And the completed one, this sweet little guy. Okay? So, which is your favorite? It's going to be really hard to get this all in here. And this little guy here on that side. Yeah, the house one's pretty spectacular, isn't it? It's such a fun layout, girls. So if you own this design paper, or actually any design paper, what a fun layout this is, and sketch for your viewing pleasure. I'll be making these. Oh, that's so good and so simple. So simple. So I'm going to call your names out again. And if I have forgotten you, please let me know and I will add you. So thank you for all of those that have shared. I've got Dar and Michelle and Carol and Jenny and Barb, who is not here, and Sherry and Marika. Have I forgotten anyone? Well, Cheryl Peters, hello there, my friend. How are you doing? Nice to see your name pop up. Pardon me, I'm just a little sniffly. So if you have shared and I've missed your name, please let me know. I am going to shuffle these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 ladies that have shared, okay? So now I am just shuffling them. Susan, hello. And thank you. Super fun cards. Like, use up your design paper, ladies. So see how I'm giving this a really good shuffle? I've got 7 people that have shared today. Thank you very, very much for doing that. And the first person that calls out a number from 1 to 7, that's where I'm going to stop and find out who our winner is for today, okay? So just the first person that shouts out between 1 and 7. Number 3. Okay, Michelle, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. It's Jenny. Jenny B. So Jenny, I have not sent you a card before. So if you would please private message me with your mailing address, and I will get a card in the mail for you. Woohoo! But I want you to tell me, which one of these cards do you want? And if you're choosing one that's not finished, I will complete it. That doesn't belong there. So Jenny, did you want the deer, the house, this house, or the trees and fence? Okay. So let me know which one you want of these 4. See if I can try and get these in here. I can't get them all in. There we go. That's sort of a little bit better. So Jenny, let me know which one you want. The fence, that's this one here with the fence, the deer, the house, or this other house. And again, fire me a private message and the tree. So this one here, I will finish it. I'm going to wrap it with twine, and I will put some gems on it and a sentiment. Do you have a sentiment that you want on here? Do you want this to be a Christmas card? Do you want a birthday card? Yeah, I normally don't give people the choice because they're usually totally completed, but I wanted to do more than one today. So let me know what kind of sentiment you want on that, Jenny, and I will complete that and get that into the mail to you, hopefully by tomorrow. So just let me know, and even if it's in the private message, what sentiment you want, and I will complete the card, okay? So ladies, thank you so much for popping in. I hope to see you next week. Birthday, okay, I will make it into a birthday card. I will be here again Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget to share. And every time you do, you are interested. You are entered. I can't even talk. You are entered for my draw, and it's always the card that I complete. Okay. So Jenny, I will get this finished for you. I will make it into a birthday card, and away it goes. Thank you everyone for popping by. Michelle, drop me a private message if you need any help with your Stampin' Up needs. Happy to help you if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Okay, we'll talk to y'all later. Have a blessed week and happy Thanksgiving to all of my Canadian friends. Bye now.